G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for part 41 of the Path of Exile Survival Guide live! That's right. Today, because of Facecam, you can see, and because I'll be responding to the chat during this episode, we are going live. I was thinking that we have a bit of, longer duration stuff to do, like getting into started on maps, and that's what we're going to be covering in this episode. Getting started with maps. Now, this assumes that you've probably done a bit of leveling. You're somewhere around level, 69 to 74 is usually pretty comfortable for most beginners to start getting into the map system. And at level 70, I'm feeling fairly comfortable. My resists aren't perfectly capped, which is kind of and my damage is okay. And my life pool's pretty good, so I feel like I'll do fine, just fine in 66 maps, and if you're sort of around this point, you'll probably be doing just fine as well. Now, if you've probably spent a bit of time XPing outside of maps, chances are you already have a decent number of level 66 maps. Hopefully, I would recommend starting this point if you have like 5 level 66 maps, but if you just get one, you can just do it if you want, but I kind of find it fun to, once you're getting into the map system, to actually stay in the map system, and it can be a bit kind of cruddy feeling when you're like, I'm gonna start maps, and then 2 maps later, I don't have any maps left. So it's a good idea to build up a little bit of a map pool, and then kind of get started on munching through those, and really getting into the meat of the map system and starting to progress through that. So, as I've mentioned in this past, but just to reiterate, if you do want to build up that initial pool of maps, you only have a couple maps and you need some more, you haven't gotten very lucky on the map drops, then I recommend doing Lunaris Piety runs, where you run the Lunaris 2, run Lunaris 3, go kill Piety, and she has a 50% chance to drop a 66 map. Now, if you do this solo, that's just a straight up 50%. It's a bit safer and faster to do it in a party, especially if you're a bit lower level, but then you're getting less chance of getting the map. So you have to kind of weigh up the pros and cons there a little bit. But make that decision, do some Lunaris Party runs. It's a great way to gear up anyway, and then it'll build up your initial map pool. So I will be taking questions from chat today, guys, but first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the sort of beginning map systems here. Now, you'll remember in the past, perhaps, that I did tell you to save up stone hammers. Now, any hammer of this kind, so including gavels now, higher level ones, will actually work. So we can check the vendor for gavels now as well, and I'll explain why this is important in a moment. Do I see any gavels? I don't see any gavels. Yeah, no, okay. Alright, we'll leave that then. So we've got these stone hammers collected up from the past, and you can use these later to craft chisels using the maps you don't want to run. So I think we'll run all of our maps today, but we can keep these in mind, and if you do see any of these stone hammers or gavels, do, start to accrue these, because what happens is you use the vendor recipe just here to sell one of these hammers or stone hammers or gavels or any of those ones with a map that you don't want, something like Orchard map, which is one of my least favorite level 66 maps, and if it's a 20 quality stone hammer, so you do it with white ones, you quality them up using blacksmith whetstones, you get back a chisel, and this is our map rolling, one of our map rolling currencies. But I probably got into this a little bit early because you don't actually need to use these on level 66 maps. I recommend only starting to use your chisels once you get to around 69, 70, 71, 72 maps. Somewhere around there is where people will start chiseling their maps, as in giving them quality. So let's start off by grabbing. I've just grabbed one of each type of map here. Actually, 2 tropical islands because it's my favorite, and we've got a few white and blue ones here. So the first step I'm going to do is actually trying to roll these guys. So I'm going to grab some of these guys just to sort of keep things nice and clear. Oops, we'll need some augmentations as well. Now we're going to be rolling 66 to 69, level 69 to level 66 maps as magic maps, as blue maps, because it's not really worth investing too much more currency. It's not worth investing alks, alchemy orbs, or chaos orbs in those lower level maps. It's pretty easy to progress through the map system, and you only really want to spend that currency when you're really trying hard to maintain the higher level of maps. The map system gets a bit hard to continue progressing through once you get past level 70-ish, once you're getting into the high 70s. So once you get to that point, you'll want to start investing more currency, and you kind of have to let go of this feeling of wasting currency on maps, because that's a bit of a commitment you have to make with the map system, that you will be spending quite a bit of currency. So that means that you'll see people spend like 5 or 10 chaos on a map, and that might kind of blow your mind as a new player, or people even spending exalts on maps. And it is a bit jarring at first, but it's something that you kind of need to do once you're really trying to progress a character, into the high 80s, into the 90s, trying to chain those high level maps to get that good XP, and hopefully get some returns in terms of loot and things like that. But early on, we got it nice and easy. We only need to spend transmutes, alterations, and augmentations to roll these initial maps, so we'll do this. Now, there are a few things to look for when rolling level 66 maps, and I'll try and catch up on the chat in a moment, guys. But I'll go through this part first. When you're rolling maps, you're rolling for difficulty, XP, or loot, generally. Those are the things that will give them to you. Now, with difficulty comes increased quantity, so higher difficulty mods will add more quantity. So as you can see, base maps here, this has nothing. It just says level 66 map, nothing else. Now you can see this one has, this is a quality map just here, and it adds extra item quantity. So that's one way of getting up to 20% item quantity. So 12% extra items will drop in this map. Now this is the only thing in the game that will affect other maps dropping. Now in order to progress through the map system, you have to have maps drop within maps. So everywhere else in the game, everywhere, Piety, everything, Dominus, even Dominus, will only drop level 66 maps. It's impossible to progress without them through the map system, unless you're finding maps within maps. And what happens is maps can drop up to 2 levels higher maps than the one you're farming. So let's say we do this map just here, and we kill a rare monster. Now rare monsters are 2 levels higher than the zone, or the map boss is also 2 levels higher. Then he has a chance of dropping a level 68 map. It's a pretty low chance, but it will happen, and you will occasionally get level 68 maps. Now blue mobs will drop, so champ packs will drop level 66 up to level 67 maps, and everything else can drop level 66. So increasing the quantity will simply increase the chances that that happens. Now it's a small amount, but over time this is what helps you progress through the map system or maintain your map pool. So once you're at level 70, helps you keep dropping level 70s in those maps so you can continue progressing. So, what we're looking to do with rolling these maps initially. Now 66 are pretty easy to progress in. You can honestly just run white 66s and progress through the map system. You will eventually get some 67s and some 68s. And because 66s are basically free, you get them just from the base game, killing Piety and things like that. They're incredibly easy to get. They're low in value. So actually spending a lot of currency to try and progress through 66s up to 68s is not really worth it. So what we're looking to do with these maps, finally getting into the meat of this, is spend as little currency as possible to maximize the amount of XP we're getting and increased item drops. So it's a bit of an economic decision and also a leveling decision as well. And you do want to level in 66 maps until you're starting to hit the XP pendulum in those maps and move up. And this is known as the building your map base period. And essentially we're going to be getting a nice pool of 68s, and then from that level, those 67s and 68s we're going to be building up a nice pool of somewhere around 69 and 70 maps. And that is what is known as building your base. And we're going to do that as cheaply as possible. So without further ado, we will start rolling some maps. So guys, I will start paying attention to chat again. Apologies, but if you asked any questions and I missed them, feel free to let me know. But let's roll some maps, guys. I love gambling in this game. It's super fun. Let's start off with the quality Tropical Island. Tropical Island, we actually have 2 here, is one of my favorite maps. It's a jungle-ish sort of zone, and it has a monkey melee boss that summons other monkeys. And otherwise, it's pretty safe and easy map to do. It's outdoors. It's very pretty. So I like Tropical Island. But let's roll our Tropical Islands. Now I'm going to use a transmute on both of these guys here. And we have 2 rolls here. Roll a Staunching, nerd. Do I not? I do have a Staunching flask just here. Or you might be responding to someone else. So, first one we have is an unwavering tropical map of champions. Now this is 20% more magic monsters. Monsters cannot be stunned. Now the cannot be stunned part is known as just a difficulty mod. It makes maps more difficult, but this is a pretty easy one. It's not a particularly hard difficulty mod. And for us, it basically doesn't affect us. With this character, we're not really stunning mobs all that often. So this one just adds extra item quantity, and it doesn't really make the map too much more difficult. So this is a good one. 20% more magic monsters is a very good mod. There are increased pack size and more magic monsters. These are both fantastic mods, especially on low-level maps or on maps that you're trying to get a lot of XP in. More magic monsters means, well, it does mean more chances at higher-level maps, but mostly it means more XP. Magic monsters give a lot of XP and increased loot drops as well, so that's a pretty nice one. However, 20% is an incredibly low roll on that one. It goes up to 50%, so that's pretty bad. So, on that note, since it's not a particularly interesting map and the magic monsters roll is low, I will just throw an alteration on this because it is the quality map as well. I want to try and roll it a little bit better than that. We have monsters deal 85 extra damage as cold. Now, this one is a little bit tougher. Monsters deal 85% extra damage as cold, takes any base damage that the mob deals, and then adds an extra 0.85 damage as cold on top of that. That means if monsters crit, they'll freeze you, and it means a significantly, almost doubling the amount of damage they do. So that's an example of a harder difficulty mod, and it does add a bit of item quantity, but not actually a lot. So these ones you can definitely deal with, especially if you have your resist in order. My fire resist is down, my cold resist is 75, so it's probably okay. So what we can do is we can chuck an augment on this and see if we get something better. Chilled ground, nothing particularly excited just there. Ziggy seems to love gambling in general. I hope Amy is in charge of the finances. I do love gambling in games. I don't gamble much in real life, so I guess I get it out in games like this. But here we go. We'll re-roll this again. Increased monster variety. This one will make the map a little bit more unpredictable, because maps usually have I think it's one guaranteed mob slot. There's always this type of mob in there, and I think on Tropical Islands that's monkeys, or it could be golems. It's one of those two. But monster variety will mean that instead of like 4 different mob slots, I think there'll be many more than that. So that one's not too bad. We can just reroll there. 49% more magic monsters. That one's a winner. Almost a max magic monsters roll. The variety is not a big deal, so we'll keep that. We have a winning map. So we're going to take a bit of time to roll through these maps. You'll get much faster as you go, and as you recognize what's better, and you'll kind of get a hang of how much currency you want to spend. And you don't really want to spend too much. Do keep in mind that, you know, a stack of 20 alterations has an equivalent value in Chaos Orbs. You know, these things can be traded for higher tier currencies. So these aren't without value. So you don't want to spend too many. But yeah, I'll try and answer your questions related to Poe or life. We'll answer some more general questions once I actually get into the maps. But during the map rolling, keep it focused on the map rolling, and I'll answer some questions on these guys now. Now, this one's Players Cursed with Vulnerability. This one is pretty nasty, but it depends on the map. This one will cause us to take more physical damage. Now, there is some pretty high physical damage in Tropical Island, especially the boss has very hard-hitting melee physical attack. I believe he even has increased physical damage aura. So, vulnerability will cause you to take more physical damage. It also causes you to take more bleeding damage on puncture maps, or more chaos damage on chaos maps. So, vulnerability is actually a very dangerous curse. So, I'll go ahead and re-roll this one for this one. We have Players Cursed with Enfeeble. Monsters cannot be stunned. The stun thing, again, not an issue. Enfeeble is a map mod that slows you down a lot. It reduces your damage by a lot. So I don't like running Enfeeble maps. I don't like running Enfeeble Temporal Chains maps because they slow down your clear speed by a huge amount, and lost time is lost currency. So we'll go ahead and re-roll that. Additional projectiles and burning ground. These are 2 examples of difficulty mods. I don't mind additional projectiles on this map because most of the time you're only getting monkeys that throw rocks at you or things like that, or arrows, and none of that really hurts if you're solo. Additional projectiles is a little bit more dangerous in a party, and especially if combined with something like chaining or something, but I don't think this one's too bad. We'll go ahead and roll that. That's just a plain difficulty mod map, and we don't want to invest too much more than that. So, let's go ahead and roll some of these other ones. Let's go for an Overgrown Ruins. This is a crypt map, and I think the boss is a Lightning Strike character, if I remember correctly. So let's re-roll this one. We have monster variety, Shocking Ground. Shocking Ground increases the amount of damage you take as if you had 1 shock stack. Not a particularly dangerous map, but also nothing really very rewarding. Item quantity is only 17%. I recommend aiming for something like 25 to 30% is pretty nice. Monsters Fracture. Area contains 2 unique bosses. Ooh, this one could be... Oh, that's such a hard map. Two unique bosses is actually pretty good if you're confident with the boss. That's 2 times as much loot. Monsters Fracture is an extremely hard map. So, Ziggy, you are underestimating monkeys. Angry monkeys are scary. We'll see, Raph, we'll see. We may run the monkey one first. But this one here is nasty. When you kill a fractured mob, it will spawn many other versions of that mob. Now, those mobs don't give extra XP or loot. They just are out to kill you. And I'll reroll that one. Players Cursed with Enfeeble, 2 unique bosses. Ooh, that one could be a tougher one. We got the 2 unique bosses still, though. I think I'll re-roll that. Minus max, players cannot be stunned. This one could be a fun one to roll. Now, minus max by itself is a dangerous boosting thing. It will decrease your maximum total resistance. So total max resist on my character is 75%. So minus max will take that down 16 total %. So this is a potentially dangerous mob when combined with things like monsters deal extra cold damage, or if you have monsters of high elemental damage. Now in Overgrown Ruins there is a lightning striking boss. So this is one I will do this because it adds a lot of extra quantity, and there is 42% quantity on that. It's a very high roll, so I'll go ahead and do that. But that is a potentially pretty dangerous map just there. You think they throw rocks, but it's not that obvious. We'll do Grotto. Grotto is another really good 66 map, I think. It's quite fast and easy to do. Monsters deal extra fire resist, players cursed with Enfeeble. Now, if you dealt fire damage on your character, this would be an incredibly slow map, because not only would they be fire resistant, but you'd also be dealing less damage with Enfeeble. I'm probably going to reroll that just because of the Enfeeble. Players take chaos damage per second, and monsters are immune to curses. The curse thing will slow us down because we can't cast our damaged curses. The chaos damage isn't too bad as long as you have enough regen to deal with it. Now this character has 64 regen. This is 17.8 chaos damage per second. It'll be like nothing as there. I'll go ahead and run that one. It's a pretty easy one. What do we got next? We have Shocking Crypt Map of Suffering, extra lightning damage, chaos. Ooh, the extra lightning damage means more shock stacks. I think I'll re-roll that one. 27 increased monster life. That slows it down, but it's not too bad. Players cursed within Temporal Chains. Temporal Chains plus another slow mod. I think I'm going to re-roll that one there. Monsters deal monsters physical resistance. That's a bit of a slow one. Minus max physical resist. Armored Crypt Map of Exposure. I think I'll re-roll for something better. I would want some more pack size on magic monsters. Players cursed with vulnerability. Monster life. Chaos damage. Monster damage. That's only 34% increased base monster damage. That's not too bad. I think I want to try and go for some more. Here we go. We have a population mod. Areas inhabited by skeletons will replace all of the other mob spawns, and we'll make sure that only skeleton-based mobs spawn. So this is a pretty good one. Patches of Chilled Ground. I'll run that. That should be fun. Dungeon map. Rare monsters each have a nemesis mod. We're totally going to do this because it's going to be fun. Oh, players have no life or mana regen. We can do this. This will be a fun one to run. Now, this is called... hold on, is this one called Stasis? Yeah, there's Stasis and then there's 50% regen. So that one, 50% regen is tough, and no life or mana regen is also a very tough one for a lot of characters. But as a blood magic character that relies on life gain on hit and life leech, this is actually not too bad, because we will regenerate our life, we spend our life, and we'll regen whenever we attack. And Smothering, which is 50% regen, or no regen, gives a huge amount of quantity. You can see that's 42% quantity. That one should be a lot of fun. As in, very punishing, but also a lot of fun. Monsters reflect elemental damage. This is something you should definitely be aware of, because if there's another reflect pack in the map itself, it'll be essentially a double reflect map. It'll reflect twice as much damage as it normally does, and this shouldn't be a problem for us. I'll go ahead and run this one. Orchard's a pretty rough map though. So I think that'll do us. We didn't get many good mods. We got one Magic Monsters mod, which is always very nice. And we got some other high quantity maps, but I don't want to spend too much more than that. We spent probably 10 alterations, I guess, a little bit more other currency, so nothing too bad. So guys, let me, will this be an all-day photography stream? We'll be doing a couple hours of maps probably, guys. Let me ID this thing. We got this from killing Gravicious in the Ebony Barracks earlier, and it's not particularly good. It's got a high life roll, and flask charges gained is quite good. But I think we'll keep our current one because we need the resistances. So what I'll do is I'll set this aside for the Chaos Vendor recipe, which we should have one ready to go pretty soon. Oh, do we actually have one? Ring, 2 rings, belt, amulet, hell, gloves, boots, chest, one-hander, one-hander. I think that's everything. I think that'll be a new Chaos Orb for us, guys. Oh, Chaos Hype! Chaos! There we go, consistent currency, guys. Always save up stuff for that Chaos Orb Vendor recipe, full set of rares. I know Ziggy wants to be efficient, but why doesn't he put up videos about some of these maps that sound like ones that would be fun, like Fractured Monsters do more lightning damage, but not the most efficient, since beginners won't likely commit to maps like these when they first start. Raph, you want to see some fun maps? We could probably do some of that at a later date, so I might do that, man. When using Atari's mirror uniques, reflects curses, are you still getting cursed by the map mod? Yes, because it's not it doesn't like hit you, which the mirror will reflect curses that hit you. It's just on you. The curse will always be on you. And in fact, on like for example, enfeebled maps, if you were cursed by a monster that has a curse as well, it won't override it. It'll be in addition to that. So say you have you're cursed in an enfeeble map, and or let's say an elemental weakness map. Someone curses the map has elemental weakness as a curse applied on you. You'll have that. Your resistances will be lowered. Then if you encounter a Necromancer that casts something like Conductivity, your lightning resist will plummet. You'll have almost no lightning resist. So this is why it's very important to have overcapped lightning resist heading into higher level maps. So trying to get to like 90, 100% resist, because it'll help deal with those curses. And being double cursed in one of those maps is actually pretty dangerous. So I think the first one we'll run is this Magic Monsters Variety Tropical Island with the quality. Pretty nice map. Question on the map. Are you going to tell new players which 66, 67 maps are best to try and do and avoid and use more caution around? Yeah, I will, Tanakea. We'll try and cover that. I'll show all the maps I have here today, but some of these are ones that I will usually just vendor. Like, for example, Orchard map is one that I will just use for the chisel recipe generally, but I will run it just to show you guys why, because it's a pretty rubbish map. But Tropical Island is one of my favorite 66 maps. It's really good. I highly recommend running Tropical Island. I actually don't think I have all the 66 maps here. I think I'm missing Dunes. Dunes is pretty decent as well, so if you see Dunes, do run it. It has the leap slamming hillock boss, basically, that summons Chaos Zombies. The Chaos Zombies are pretty dangerous, but the map itself is pretty good. And he's not too bad to deal with. So, checking again what we're dealing with here. 49 magic monsters and increased monster variety. So, we should be aware that we'll be seeing all sorts of different monsters in here, and lots of magic ones, but it should be a lot of fun. So I'm pretty hyped for this one. So, what do we got? We got a lot of bandits there and a lot of monkeys. So we'll try and curse these guys up as well. Temporal chains going off there automatically. And we'll kill this guy there. So pretty nice pack sizes on these guys. Bandits and monkeys have very nice pack size, which is always good for Lightning Arrow, because Lightning Arrow is more effective the larger the pack. So on that note, what I'll do is I'll try and round up some guys. Looks like we've got some spiders as well. Do, when you're heading through the map system, especially make a really concerted effort, especially in the early map system, to learn to spot the mobs and pay attention to what is actually spawning. So I've identified bandits, spiders, and things like that. And later, when you don't have increased variety, you can kind of be like, all right, we know what's in this map now. It's all pretty easy mobs. We can go a bit more. We can go a bit more ham. We're going to be safe. Whereas if you just kind of run through a map without thinking about it, you may think, I think I've seen all the mobs, but you didn't really pay much attention. And then all of a sudden, Devourers! Devourer death. Now, it's important in maps, especially in higher level maps, to overturn rocks, open chests, basically do all the environmental stuff, break pots and things like that. Not as important in 66 maps, but it's a good idea to get in the habit of doing it, because these things can all drop maps. And if you're in something like a level 70 map and you turn over a rock and get a level 70 map back, that's a win right there. That is a win. And, terrain drops items at a pretty consistent pace in PoE. Hey, Chaotic G. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Ship Happens. How you going? You can see our temporal chains going automatically off there from cast and damage taken. I think the levels on my cursors are now correct. We should double check this though. Level 4, level 37 requirement. Molten Shell, I think, can go one more level up. Hold on, let me check here. Level 9 Molten Shell is level 6, so we can actually level Molten Shell. I don't know why I haven't done that. So let's take that to level 36, aka level 9 requirement. Sorry, level 36 requirement, level 9. That's the correct level of Molten Shell. And Temporal Chains can go... I think it has to stay at level 6. We'll see when it levels up next, as to whether we should level it up once more. Yes, in Diablo I had trained myself out of clicking chests and things like that, because they never really pay out anything, but it's actually changed, and they're actually pretty good now at paying out. And whereas in Path of Exile I already have that habit developed, so I have different habits for different games, and I kind of do a good job of distinguishing them, but it'd be good if I transferred my PoE habit of clicking chests and rocks and stuff in maps now over to D3, where it would be pretty handy. So I did say that we have some Chaos Snakes there. Chaos is always pretty dangerous, especially, considering our Chaos resist is minus 28%. We should be pretty aware of things that deal Chaos damage. Got a blue pack here. I'm surprised I haven't seen many other blue packs yet, considering this is a more Magic Monsters map. There we go. Got another rare there. We'll try and stock up. Oh, Devourers! There you go. There's our Devourer death. Our surprise Devourer death. Luckily, that was a large group, and that might not sound like a good thing, but Lightning Arrow killed him very quickly as a result. Lucky it wasn't a magic pack of Devourers. But now, because we've seen those Devourers, we need to be paying careful attention to the fact that Devourers could pop up at any moment and kill us. So we're going to be careful here. Now, in maps, you have a limited number of portals for which you can take loot back through, or for which you can die if you're playing softcore. So, you know I like to play without dying as much as possible anyway. But if you die 5 times in a map, you'll run out of map portals, and if you haven't finished the map by that point, then tough luck, there's not much you can do about it. By the same note, you should only pick up rare items, and then you will even get to a point, if you're farming with a party, like a full party for example, you'll only have 1 portal each. And this means that you should identify items, and if it's no good, just throw it on the ground. Like, this is nothing, I'll just throw it on the ground. Saves running back. Now, in this map, I'm not likely to get enough loot to fill up my inventory, but I think it's a good habit to get into. I'm not much of a hoarder in PoE, and I recommend trying to break yourself of hoarding habits if you can. But of course, whatever's more fun, go for that. Okay, we've got a few gems leveled up here. In Feeble, we are leveling up plenty. I'm going to bam the spanner in the channel there. There we go. In Feeble, I'm pretty sure I'm just leveling up. What do I have? Oh, I was leveling up to get ready to put in... Next level is 37, so we will give that one more level there. Now, Temporal Chains, next level is 37. We'll take that up there too. I think... Which Temporal Chains is this, though? Okay, this one is hit 37 now. Perfect. Okay. So all of our skills are leveled up to the correct amount now. I'll have to remember to stop those next level, though, because if I over-level them, it's going to screw up my cast when damage taken setup. See my Temporal Chains curse going off on the Devourers there. Pretty nasty, but nothing too bad. Ziggy, have you ever thought of doing a video on what 5 links, 6 links, etc. are used for? What are you sort of wondering about, Wajalan? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name correctly. But sometimes I'm like, I don't really know the questions that a beginner asks, because I have been playing the game for a while now. I try and, think of what people would want to know for a while, as much as I can, but sometimes I'm not sure of the questions people might have. So if you can elaborate at all, I'd be happy to know. They're generally just used for your main attack skill, as in, for example, I have a 5 link for Lightning Arrow, because the more links I can get on Lightning Arrow, the more damage and utility I get with that skill. So we've got Poison Arrow, not too interested in that. Plenty of Scrolls of Wisdoms from these guys. Let's curse these guys with damage. It's taking a little while to kill this back. Alright, we'll see, we'll target this guy down just there. Also, I'll try and keep my frenzy stacks up as well. Try and remember that. So you'll notice that the way I've been clearing this map is because it's just a straight narrow zone. This is Tropical Island just here. Straight narrow zone. This is why it's a pretty good map as well. I just simply crisscross back and forth as we move down the zone. Now once you get to the end of this first section, aka the halfway point of the map, you'll see a cave here, and this will basically just teleport you to the second section, which you can see is actually on the map here. It's basically just parallel to this thing. It's pretty weird. Parallel universe sort of system. I don't know how the cave works, but there you go. We'll, oh, Devourers! The Devourers were hiding around the stone, waiting to ambush us. There we go. Oh man, the Temporal Chains going off is doing work. I like it. Now we may eventually be able to switch to Enfeeble if we can get a 4-link with red, 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 blue. Would be pretty nice. I think Enfeeble's a bit better than Temporal Chains on cast when damage taken. But Temp Chains is certainly still pretty nice. I don't know what links on weapons, armor, etc. are used for. What is important about getting a 6 link? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, basically just increasing the damage of your skills usually, but also increasing utility. So for example, putting something like increased area of effect on a curse will allow you to curse more enemies with one cast, or faster casting to cast it faster, things like that. So 5 or 6 links are usually reserved for your main attacks because you want to maximize the damage as much as you can. So for example, if I were to get a 6th link, I would add in, so currently I have less than multiple projectiles, chain, faster attacks, life gain on hit. If I were to get a 6th link, so a 6 link item, I would probably go for another red slot, and I would add in weapon elemental damage, which would increase the elemental damage I deal with my attack, which would be a pretty significant boost to DPS. And that will be something I am saving up for on this character. For sure, getting a 6 link is a priority. Is that Duelist? No, this is a Ranger. It's a tanky blood magic Ranger. The beginner's build I created a very long time ago, and it has updated. It's weathered the time okay. There are definitely stronger builds now, but it's still a great build for beginners to play because it teaches you the game mechanics in a pretty good way, I think. But there are certainly stronger and easier builds out there though nowadays. Anything fire is really good, like Flame Blast, Searing Bond, Fireball. Those are all really good, great skills to level with now. All on the same character. Even Detonate Dead is really good too for beginners. What levels should I start Orb of Chancing for higher level uniques? It's more important what things you chance. So pay attention to which uniques you want, and which base item they come from, and then just chance those. There's a 6 socket right there, I'll grab that. Let's round up a bit of a pack here rather than single targeting them down. How come your chest is blue? My chest armor is blue because I got a 5-link, pretty cheap, and then I just used Transmutes and Alterations to roll Life and a Resist. That's a budget way of gearing your character. Cost me almost nothing to gear it, and it still has the core stats. For example, if I were to alch that and get something like a little bit of armor, thorns, and life regen, it would be a rubbish chest, and I would have wasted an alch. Whereas I spent a couple like alterations and transmutes to guarantee some good stats, and those are the important stats, you know, life and a resist. And definitely you can get by on blue gear through most of the game. I will eventually want to upgrade to a rare, but what I'll probably do is get a better item or a 6-link, and then try and craft that much better once we have that. But I don't think it's worth spending too much money on your 5-link, unless your skill is very, very good on a 5-link. Whereas for Lightning Arrow, I think it's a good idea to try and aim for a 6-link. So that'll be something we're trying to do soon. Some blue monkeys there. Surprisingly, I haven't seen too many blue packs, except for now. There's a large blue pack now. So we've actually encountered the map boss now. And we'll kill... I've just drawn away this pack. I've drawn away this pack of monkeys first, because we want to try and encounter this guy solo if we can. Because he does have... allies deal increased physical damage, so you can see that. His name is Blood Progenitor, and he's... hold on, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. But he has allies deal extra physical damage. Now, he also will call down monkeys from the trees, so it's a good idea to sort of draw him away from the trees. Now, I can probably also Temporal Chains to keep him away from me. And if I just sort of keep him away from the trees, he won't be able to draw too many monkeys down. Because he can't do it if there's no trees around. So I'm just going to be kiting this guy. Just for science, I'll take a hit from him. He hits pretty hard. Now this is a character with a fair bit of armor, and you know, I have like the Molten Shell and stuff comes up like that. But he does hit pretty hard. And if you're a character with not too much armor, then it's something you want to watch out for. But the main thing is to draw away those other monkeys from him. And then you'll be pretty good. Now, I have almost been one-shot from this character on a very tanky character before, because I was in a vulnerability map and I got crit by him. Oh, unique item! I almost said legendary. Uh-oh. Where do we get? Oh, is this one? I think this is Terminus Est? I think this is a pretty good leveling sword. But there we go, guys. Unique. Oh, yeah! It is Terminus Est Tiger Sword. Very high physical damage, and 20% attack speed and movement speed, and gain a frenzy charge on critical strike. Very cool, unique. Progenitor. Thank you, guys. Progenitor. Blood Progenitor. Okay, I think I probably am still not pronouncing that correctly. But there you go. But yeah, I was almost one-shot, fun fact, on my EK Scion, which was one of the tankiest characters I've ever made, and is still alive. It's level 86 in Hardcore. And I was almost one-shot in a 66 Tropical Island map by the Blood Progenitor, in a vulnerability map, because it increases physical damage taken, and he crit me. So it was huge. I got down to like 400 life or something, and that was through Mind Over Mana, Arctic Armor, all that jazz. So that's the map clear. Now what you can actually do is type in /remaining, and we see 0 monsters remaining. Oh, perfect clear. What? ZiggyD's a boss. Also, I have /remaining on a macro, just for laziness sake. But you do want to come close to full clearing maps. If it says more than 20 remaining, that means you've missed a big pack of monsters somewhere. If it says like 3 or 4 monsters remaining, then you might as well leave, especially in 66 maps. I think I may have just missed a rock. Oh well. So, let's head on back. We got some pretty good gear. Terminus Est, I think, is great for Spectral Throw builds. 4 Chaos in the bank. Yeah, so that's definitely a pretty nice unique. And I'll tell you what, guys, if anyone wants to buy it, I will happily sell Terminus Est to any of you guys that want to buy it. Here in the live stream. Unfortunately, you guys watching the VOD probably won't be able to get it unless you contact me at another time and no one has bought it by that point. But what else have we got here? Rarity, ES. Ooh, 2 very nice resist, rarity and increased ES, but it's a very low base item. As you can see, it's a level 48 requirement and has only 39 energy shield, very low, and no move speed, so I'll probably just sell that, to be honest. But we'll ID this other stuff, see how we go. That's pretty bad, and nothing really good on either of those. So we'll go ahead and vendor the rest of this stuff. How much? Like, 4 chaos, I think someone said. I'll do 4 chaos. We've got to save up for our 6th link. So, better start collecting up some more of those flasks. I think I've actually almost crafted all my flasks, so we'll have to craft a better Quicksilver soon. Remaining item level cursor level 4. Why is this in my inventory? We want only higher than level 4. You don't craft level 4 Quicksilvers because you can't get all of the correct mods on them. What's your most favorite or even most effective build for this 2-week race? The Spectral Thrower race from the Build of the Week kipper looked really good. But anything like Detonate Dead, Searing Bond, Flame Blast look really good, man. Are you going to do a setup video of your apartment house? I can, but I think it will be pretty boring, man. Like, there's actually nothing in the house. Like, what you see here is most of it. Amy has her office as well, and we have a bed, and we have some frying pans. But that's about it. There's actually not much here in our house. We don't have many things. Would you take 3 chaos 20 chromes for the sword? That's a very nice deal. I will take that. 20 chromes, man. With the luck I have crafting sockets on my gear, I will gladly take 20 chromatics. In fact, that's probably worth more than 4 chaos, so you're probably giving me a bit of a bro deal without realizing. But I will accept. Thank you, man. I'll meet you in Act 1 normal. And there we go, guys. A bit of currency from our first map. I would say that was some beginner's map luck right there, even though I've played many maps in the past. That was our first map on this character, and we did pretty well. Some frying pans, the bare essentials. Yeah, we're kind of Spartan, I guess. Welcome, man. Welcome to the Path of Exile Survival Guide. Thank you for trading, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I said that in local chat, but I think you still got it. So there we go, adding some more chaos and currency there. Saving up towards our 6th link, which will be a little bit expensive, but we'll be able to get one sometime soon. Thank you, man. So, we just ran the first 66 Tropical Island with Magic Monsters, and we got a decent amount of XP from it, but no other map drops, unfortunately, and that'll happen. Sometimes it's called blanking. We just blanked on that map. We didn't get anything else. We didn't get a refund, we didn't get an upgrade or anything. And Magic Monster maps, although they have potential to drop upgrades, often they'll just be XP maps. But we got good XP, and we got a couple chaos from the item that dropped. Though we may have overcharged a little bit accidentally. I try not to do that when I can help it. So to start a new map, you want to recreate Eternal Laboratory, because there'll still be the portals from our previous maps. So making a new one will basically get rid of all those. So we've actually already run a Tropical Island. We'll run something different. Let's run our... what should we run? Grotto map? Let's run Grotto. So Grotto is another example of a really good map. We'll do some of the crappier maps at the end. Grotto is a very good 66. It's very fast to run. It's fairly linear. You can pretty much just run through it and you will get most of the mobs. And the boss is also quite easy. The boss is ridiculously easy if you have an Arctic Armor character. I believe it's a Firestorm boss. But let's head through here. Whoa, Flicker Strikers! So this is a good example of identifying the mobs that have spawned. And this time we got Flicker Strikers, and I think there was a Puncture mob there too, so paying attention to that Puncture. So we want to be a little bit careful with the Flicker Strikers. And the Puncture also, so standing still while punctured, or we're using our Flask on space, our Staunching Flask, to get rid of that Puncture. So what do we have again? Chaos damage immune to curses, so no point bothering cursing in this map. We can't curse any enemies, so that'll slow us down a little bit, and it'll also mean our temporal chains won't do anything either. I don't think I have anything to replace that with. A slower weapon might solve your mana problems if you can't really keep up with your leech. It might not feel good to go to a slow weapon, and it will lower your DPS, but you have to do what you have to do to sustain mana. Did I miss you showing how to roll a map? Yeah, we rolled a bunch of maps earlier on. If I find any other maps, we'll probably roll them as well. Or maybe we'll roll some other maps to run too. So we've got Flicker Striking Spiders as well. This is a pretty dangerous map in terms of the mobs that have spawned. That's what makes maps, as I was explaining in the last episode, that's what makes maps harder than regular content. Although this is only level 66, and we've done that before, we've done even higher than that. The variety of the maps, the mobs that spawn, and the unknown of that as well, and also the nasty combinations you can get at times, is what makes it harder. Now, we just got an upgrade. We got what's called a +1. We got a level 67 map in a 66. Also, Sewer is a great map. One of my favourite 67s. So let's just kill this guys here. +1! Oh yeah! There's our silver map, so we're making profit already pretty early on. Listen out for that sound. Now I don't want to level this up, so I'm going to right click the plus symbol to hide it. Alright, let's go left first. See if I was... Oh, one of these is going to be a dead end, I think. Or it might be the loop, actually. Opening our chest, grabbing some more wisdoms, sure, why not? Trying your EK Shadow build, will taking crit nodes on it be bad due to reflect? It'll be hard to get, if you're using that build, enough crit to make it really significant. And it'll increase your susceptibility to reflect, yeah, for sure. And that build hadn't really planned for dealing with reflect. It won't be too bad though, because of using like Arctic armor and stuff. But I don't think it'll be worth going crit on that build. I would look for a crit EK build. Like adding a few crit nodes isn't really going to make too much of a difference to a build that's not really spec'd for crit. You need kind of a lot of crit to make it worth it. Now, is this... Hold on, which one is the temporal chains? Okay, we don't want to level this temp chains. And I'll probably keep my enfeeble at level 37 as well, just in case we want to use it later. Alright, these are all zombies and spiders. This guy should be a bit easier. And this was the dead end, alright, good. Wanted to make sure I found that dead end so we didn't miss a bunch of monsters and have to come back. Raven Mask, chromatic item. So close to leveling that molten shell. I almost did it. I've done it plenty of times before. To de-level a skill that you accidentally level, you have to trade it back to the vendor with a scouring orb. And I spent like 4 or 5 scouring orbs trying to get one skill gem the right level because I accidentally leveled it like 4 or 5 times. I'm gonna go back this way just so I don't miss anything. And then I'm gonna probably just continue along this path here. I think this is curse immune this map, wasn't it? Yeah, it is curse immune. Watch out for these guys, a little bit dangerous. But why? Why am I doing Survival Guide live on stream? Because I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be good to have you guys ask some questions while we sort of got started on the map system. I don't know, are you guys enjoying it? Oh, why keep Enfeeble that level? Enfeeble we may want to switch out for Temporal Chains in our cast when damage taken setup. I think, in most ways, Enfeeble is superior for cast when damage taken curse. So I want to switch that out, but currently I only have a red, 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 green helmet, and getting a red, 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 blue will be a little bit tricky. It'll cost quite a few chromatics. So for now I'm using Temporal Chains, but I'll keep that Enfeeble at level 37 requirement for now, so I can use it in cast when damage taken later. Ziggy, what is a chromatic item? Good question, man. Chromatic items are items that would vendor for a chromatic orb. So this item has green, red, and blue all linked together. It also has green, red, and blue all linked together there, but only one counts. But if you find an item that has 3 sockets, green, red, and blue, and they are all linked, so it could be a 5 link, or a 2 link, or a 1 link. No, wait, hold on. No, it can't. It has to be in a 3 link or a 4 link, you know. It can be any combination of those, but as long as there is red, green, blue in that link somewhere, so there is red, green, blue in that, it'll vendor for a chromatic orb, which is a nice little currency item for re-rolling the color of other sockets. Yes, I will still post this episode to YouTube once I edit it together. So I am recording locally as well. Didn't know you could de-level gems? Yeah, there's a lot of those little helpful vendor recipes you can take advantage of. Looks like we had another dead end just here. Good stuff. I actually think that this map has changed quite a bit since last time I was doing a lot of 66s. Previously this was very linear, but they actually added the maze mod, which would increase the size of maps, into the basic map pool, so this is kind of a bit... not really something you really need to know if you're a new player getting into maps now. But maps are a lot bigger than they often used to be. Previously you would really want to roll maze on a map, or increased area size, to really make maps good, but that's not an issue right anymore. But it also means that this map is no longer very linear, so I guess it's not as good as it once was. Bit of a stat question, how much armor should an armor character be going for exactly? Just a certain percentage damage reduction? I think 50% is a good amount to aim for on an endgame character. I have like, what, 30% on this character at the moment? Which, once we eventually spec it out of Blood Magic and pick up Grace, we'll have over 50% easy. So I think that's a decent amount to aim for. That's without, you know, that's just with your standard setup. You should go up to like 90 or something when you granite and have your other buffs up, endurance charges and things. But just from your like base armor and from the passive tree and stuff like that, you want to be able to get up to 50%. Will cast when damage trigger Arctic Armor off and on? I don't think Arctic Armor will work with cast when damage taken. I don't think that would be a good idea anyway, even if it did work. Oh right, curse immune. Still trying to cast my curses. Also my temporal chain keeps trying. This is a bit of a nasty pack just here. Let me just stand and tank. Oh! Pretty nasty. Oh, let's back up a little bit here. There we go. This guy's super nasty. Alright, let's back off a bit until we can heal. There we go, heal up with life gain on him. This guy's Volatile Stormblood as well. So, he has a fairly large amount of base physical damage, so what we'll do is draw him away with the decoy totem and then kill him so he doesn't explode on top of us. Because those guys can hurt. That's more dangerous if he has like added damage, or if there's an added damage map mod, Moonstone Ring. What's the best level to start running level 66 maps? I think level 69 to level 74 Minkywer, somewhere around there is good for a beginner player. If you're an advanced player, you can run a bit earlier, but I recommend starting around there. This character is level 70, and this is fine for running 66 maps. You know, there are some minor challenges we'll encounter every now and then, but as long as we don't roll ridiculously difficult maps, we're gonna be fine. And that's part of like the player knowledge that makes map easier, is knowing what maps to roll as well. I think I am desynced a little bit. The inability to curse these guys is certainly making it a little bit slower. There we go. Alright, there is this guy here, Impenetrable Shrine, probably slowing down a little bit too. Do you farm scrolls? No, not really. I just pick up scrolls as I find them. If they're close, sometimes I won't even pick up scrolls. And then if I ever need a lot of scrolls, like I'm doing Magic Find runs, I'll just like trade a Chaos Orb for 100, 120, 140 scrolls. Whatever is the going rate at the time. But I don't think it's worth it to specifically farm for scrolls. Like that time you spend farming for scrolls, you could probably just farm for a Chaos Orb and then trade the Chaos Orb for, you know, 100 scrolls. Could you give a number for armor? The reduction is based on how much damage you take after all. That's true. I'll give you a flat number just based on my current character setup. It's probably the easiest thing. I have 4.5k armor with 41% mitigation at my level here. Hold on, this is with Impenetrable Shrine, so that's increasing my armor. We might have to. I can cancel this. There we go. So 2,200 armor is 26 or 25% damage reduction. I think aim for about 4.5k to 5k armor on a end game sort of character at least as your base armor amount, and then your granite, you know, granite of iron skin, molten shell, and oh, the decoy totem's still going off. Can't believe he's still there. Your molten shell, your endurance charges, and your granite will take you up to 90% or maxed out physical damage mitigation. The map mods are currently chaos damage per second, which you can see is having no effect because we have like 40%, hold on, we have like 90 regen or something pretty high. And monsters are immune to curses, is the current map mods on this map. Ah, that's a good question, Dason Hornpo. Do you prefer to run maps solo or in a group? Is there any benefits to the map host or other players? So the benefits to running in a group is usually safety, clear speed if the group has good synergy, and splitting the costs of rolling maps. So for those reasons, running higher level maps is a good idea in a group, or running maps in general in hardcore in a group is a good idea. However, I don't generally roll below level 70 maps solo, and I'll run them solo. That's because you don't invest much currency in these levels of maps. Like sometimes I'll alch like level 69 or 70 maps, but I won't really invest a lot of chaos. So there's no real cost to split there. I also will, you know, those maps are fairly easy, not too dangerous usually most of the time, as long as you know how to roll them well. So running solo is just fine. And also it's pretty hard to get a good synergy group together for lower level maps most of the time, and you will clear things solo, because remember that when you get into a party, the life of monsters increases. The drawback to running in a group, I guess, is that maps that drop will go to the creator of the map. So if you put the map in the map machine, and then a map drops within that map, so you say you get a +1 or a +2 map, then you will get that map, but no one else will get it. So although you get XP and items and stuff that drops, you can't really build your map pool unless you're running solo. So it's a good idea to at least build up your mid and low level maps solo, so that you can actually do that, because otherwise you have to take turns. And you know, if you're in a party of 6 people running, you know, 66 maps, it's not really very time efficient. You know, any maps that drop will only go to the maker. You'll have to run a lot of 66s for everyone to build their map pool. But if you have a dedicated group, say something a race or something like that, then running together is not really much of a problem. Though even in 1 week races, people will often split up for low level maps. We usually run our 66 to 69 separately, and then run the higher level maps together. These guys are a little bit tough. I see, it's custom damage taken only works if the gem you want to cast is the same level. Exactly, same level requirement, not the actual same level. So pay attention to the requires level 37. You need to have it be the same. The superior flask, Ziggy? Oh! I'm missing items apparently. Alright, that was a bit of a nasty pack just there. I'm not too fast, honestly. I'm not going to run all the way back for the superior flask. Not really worth the time. I don't really play MOBAs, but I will probably be playing Heroes of the Storm, which is not really a MOBA, so that works out. It checks out. My facts are still straight. Need to keep attacking against these Flicker Strikers or they're gonna wreck me, because they deal a lot of damage. But I'm looking forward to eventually switching out of Blood Magic, but as you can see, Blood Magic's still pretty effective, even going into low level maps. But eventually, to really boost up our armor, especially being able to run Grace, we won't really get a damage gain from respecking out of Blood Magic, because we'll be dropping a gem slot in order to use Blood Magic support gems, and that's a potential slot that could have been used on a damage support gem. So we won't really gain damage. We'll just replace damage lost with damage from hatred. But we will gain armor through Grace. The ability to run 2 auras with reduced mana is what makes specking out of Blood Magic a good idea at endgame. Chromatic item Legion gloves. I'll keep an eye out. Oh, there it is. Very good. Good call, sir. Shoutouts to Ashifma. Now, I think we have to go back up this way. We can check the remaining, but we haven't even seen the boss yet, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than 20. There you go. Alright, let's scoot down this way. The boss has got to be in here somewhere, I'd say. Let's get a few of these spiders together. Come on, bros, let's do this. Now, a little trick for lightning arrow is if you are fighting against like 1 or 2 monsters where lightning arrow is not so effective, aiming against a wall will actually make it much more effective, because the lightning arrows will hit the wall, but you'll see there's still the shock, and the sparks will still jump. So it kind of simulates like you're fighting a larger pack, allows you to bounce that damage around a bit more. So it's a good idea to pull smaller packs to walls if you can, and it kind of makes lightning arrow work pretty decently indoors like this. We should be using Decoy Totem a little bit more, I think, against some of these nasty mobs. Like, against stuff like this, we can use the Decoy Totem to stop it from flicker striking us so much. Alright, so I'm not going to use the portals. I could, I have 6 portals I could use, but I'm just going to identify stuff and drop it if it's no good. So that one's no good. And those boots have pretty nice resist, but nothing else. You really need move speed, or life, and like 3 resists for boots to be good. So move speed, life, and resist, or very, very good life and resist without move speed. And even then, those are pretty niche most of the time. Only people like Leap Slammers will use boots without move speed. Or people just kind of looking for a cheap pair of boots. Second perk mourns the flask. Rest in peace, superior flask. You will be forgotten. You will be forgotten. Better level up my item rarity there. Let's group these guns up a little bit here. Oh man, it's a bit hectic in here. Life gain will prevail. I better pop my, I think these guys are all pretty much fire damage in here. There's a little bit of fizz. Pop my granite just to be sure. I actually have the vulnerability curse on me as well. Keeping an eye out for that is a good idea. So if we get ignited, or if we are ignited, there we go. If we get ignited or hit by big physical attacks, vulnerability makes it a bit more dangerous. Let's take out these guys. They're constantly spawning the little dudes. There we go. Did you pass this very fast earlier on purpose? No, I just didn't see it. I'm not fast enough to go back for it. Time spent going back for that flask is... That's money lost, guys. It's money lost. These things are a bit of a pain to kill. Alrighty, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I think we got everything over there. We'll head up this way. Another little pack in here. These guys are nicely grouped up for us. Thank you. Oh, and a crypt map. So that's a sustain. Getting another 66 map in a 66 map. Where did it actually go? Crypt map. There it is. Let's group up the other ones we already had. So there we go. We've got 2 maps: a sustain and then a +1 so far in this map. Not too bad. Currently streaming. Can't respond at the moment. Currently slaying mobs. I better kill this guy off before we leave him behind. Don't want to have to run back. Now you don't have to be too thorough in 66 maps. As I said, 66 maps are kind of free, really. They're very easy to get, very inexpensive. Even if you had to buy them, they're very inexpensive. But I don't know why you'd ever buy 66 maps, but you never know. So I wouldn't be too fussed about clicking every rock and killing every mob in 66 maps. Just run them fast, cheaply, and cleanly. You do also get a free rare 66 map of Dominus in Merc if you're bold enough for softcore. I like killing Dominus for the 66 rare map is like not worth it. The amount of effort you need to do Dominus is like ridiculously difficult. Like you'll be way beyond doing 66 maps before you can reliably do Dominus. I don't think, yeah, unless you just want to do it for the challenge, the fun of it. I wouldn't go do Dominus for the 66 rare map. And honestly, like a rare 66 is, chances are it probably rolled terribly anyway, and you'd have to spend chaos to re-roll, and you're not going to do that. So, I wouldn't get too excited about a rare 66 map. It's no good. Do you like PoE or D3 better? No, I love both of the games, man. They're different enough that I can love them both. It's just like asking which of your 2 children do you love more? I love them both, equally and in different ways. They're both good at different things. One of them is good at sports, and the other one is good at chess. But I still love them both the same. Cartographer's Chisel, very nice. Smashing those pots is paying off. I did Dominus pre-maps, I was searing Bond, but I did it. Oh, I accidentally almost exited the game. I've been doing a terrible job of keeping my frenzy charges up. If we get enough regen, I may eventually consider running Blood Rage. Which, well, regen plus chaos resist. And, oh man, I think I wasn't even hitting that guy. There we go. This is a good example of someone we could chuck a decoy totem up against, but we're able to sustain pretty well. But what was I even gonna say? Oh yeah, running Blood Rage eventually on high life regen characters is a possibility. Increases, especially when clearing easier content, allows you to clear a bit faster. Deals chaos damage over time. There's another map. I think that's a level 67 map. Here we go. Here's the map boss. But yeah, Blood Rage is nice to run, but not doable on every map. We may look at that later. So Fire Fury here, she casts fireballs and firestorms. Simplest way is just to, you know, sort of kite circles around her. I am punctured at the moment, but that's fine. Just kite circles around her is the easiest way to do it. Otherwise you can use your decoy totems and use that to sort of, whenever she's casting firestorms on it, just go ham. Just cast on the other side there. That'll distract her a lot of the time, so we'll just use that. But honestly, she deals very little damage. Unless you have terrible fire resists or something like that, it's not really going to be a problem. Let me kill this other guy here. I mean, I can probably just stand here and tank it even. Just with Life Leech alone, yeah. Easy. I'm even ignited, but it's not really hurting that much. So, she's very easy. There's a 67 Thicket map, so we actually got 2 +1s and a 66 in that map. I would say that's a very good value map right there. I think we did pretty well. The puncture, ouch. Alright, let's check these boots. We'll almost be done. There might be some other mobs in there we should check. What do we got? Corsair Sword, Wormscale Gauntlets. I'll check the gauntlets. The boots were no good. The gauntlets are also no good. Well, I do this axe thing here. We have, 82 fizz. No, nothing else though. Fire and cold. No other fizz damage. Nothing good. And that one's no good either. We'll keep that though, because it's a +1 to melee gems. That'll vendor for Alk Shards, so we might as well keep that one to vendor. Can someone tell me what is Kuduku, please? Kuduku is a mini-boss from the Mountain Ledge zone, and a bit of a meme has been created around Kuduku, where he's seen as like, you know, a god. He's praised by the inhabitants of those zones as a god, and he's sort of become the god of RNG over time, just as a bit of a joke, really. But yes, Kuduku is love, Kuduku is life. So we can check our remaining. One monster remains. Good enough. Alright, let's identify the rest of these items here. Anything good? How's our ring? Nope, terrible. Alright, let's see if we need anything for the vendor. More helms and gloves and stuff could be handy to stash in here. Could also chuck some a one-hander in there. And rings, of course. What's this one like? The ruby ring. Yep, it's pretty bad as well. Double fire resist, physical damage, but nothing really else.
What is it?
So, all the rest of this stuff we can vendor. You can see that vended for a single Alk Shard. Oh yeah. There we go. Now we got a few maps in on, which is pretty good. So let's chuck this stuff over. We managed to score them full stash tabs. A sewers, which is a very nice map, and a thicket, and both of those are pretty good. I think sewers is a better map in general. And another crypt, so I'll chuck the crypt in here. And we also managed to score a chisel, which is a quarter of a map in terms of currency value generally. Ranged attack totem, don't need you. Support gem, get out of here. Okay, so we'll keep the 67s aside for now. I'll just stash them in our stash tab, and we'll continue running the other maps. I probably won't run the other thicket with, was it Tropical Island? So we'll just run the ones we've got left now. Is alking 70 maps a bad idea? No, I don't think. I got Fubu. Alking 70 maps is perfectly acceptable. Some people might even alk 69 maps sometimes. There's even a sect of cultists, a sect of people that support the idea of just alk and running low-level maps because the extra quantity usually returns a net positive currency gain. Like, you know, you may find an extra fuse or two in there, which will, you know, pay back your alk. What's the highest resist I should get in order for Molten Strike? Duelist, what is the highest resist? You should get maxed out of all of your resists, in fact overcapped. You should aim for 90 to 100% of each resistance, except Chaos. Chaos is less important. Alrighty, so let's run another one here, starting a new Eternal Lab. How are we going for level? We'll probably get a level in this next map. Let's see what map we should run now. We have the Terrible Orchard. Dungeon's a pretty rough one. Also, this is Nemesis with no regen dungeon. Let's do this. This is going to be fun. We have no regen. Each rare monsters have a Nemesis mod, and Dungeon, which is a pretty tough map. The boss is Cole or Brutus. So, you'll notice, after I cast my skill, that we don't regen, because we have no regen. Now, most builds won't do no regen maps. A lot of builds won't. But you should really pay attention to your build and think about whether you can run no regen, because if you can, there's like a boatload of currency and experience to be gained, you know, maps to be gained, map drops and currency and items to be gained from running no regen maps. They give a huge amount of increased quantity. This one is 42%, pretty much just from that mod. And honestly, on a blood magic build, they're not that hard. The regen is a helpful factor, but it's definitely possible to run a no regen map on a blood magic character. As you can see, just relying on my life gun and hit is enough. And if I ever like don't regenerate enough life, I can just flask as well. Oh, whoa! Hello, Chaos Damage. So yeah, not a good idea to run through doors when there's a bunch of stuff like that in there. Something in there. This one is a Bringer of Bones, so he's spawning a bunch of skeletons, which is actually pretty good for me because it means more targets for me to gain life off of. There we go. There's some kills. We just have to pay attention to our life and try and be efficient with it, using the correct skill, you know, using Frenzy or Lightning Arrow at the correct times. Just destroying the barrels there. We've got a shielded mob in there. This is a pretty nasty selection of mobs as well to have spawned on this. The I think it's the evangelists that have the big bubble. So we can either wait until those bubbles go down, or we can run up and engage in melee, which I might do now. There we go. Also, the music in this zone is rad. Inner treasure, here we come. I hope so. So yeah, with the mods rares have Nemesis mods, there is an increased chance that you will get an inner treasure mob, which is one that drops a guaranteed unique. Often it's Crown of Thorns, but you never know, it could be something good. Who knows, we could get a Voltaxic Rift, and which is like the GG endgame unique for this character. Although we can't actually get a Voltaxic Rift in this lower level map, but a man can dream, can he not? So I'm just going to clear dungeon by sticking to a wall and running the outside, and we can poke in the middle later. It's kind of a good idea to clear the rooms though as well. I should probably like clear out this room. It's a bit more of a hallway than anything though. But I'm just checking in this way. Alrighty. Looks like that was a dead end up there. I don't think there was any mobs in there, was there? There's a bunch of mobs in here. Yeah, I always end up missing mobs in this map. That's why it's a pretty bad one to run, I think, because there's like so many little jails and dungeons and nooks and crannies that you can miss mobs in. And, you know, missing a pack of mobs means that you're getting less value from the map. And if you have to run back and kill them, then you're losing time as well, so that's one reason I don't like these maps. Gotta kill those Necros first. I definitely want to target those guys down. I'm pretty sure Necromancers and Skeletons are the base spawn of this map. I'm fairly certain that's the case. So each map has a guaranteed spawn of certain mob type, which would be handy for me to try and learn what these guys are. I kind of have a bit of an instinct on what they are usually, but I don't know all of them off by heart, so I'll try and learn that for you guys in the future, so I can share that info with you guys. But otherwise, you can always check out things like that on the Path of Exile wiki. Just googling Path of Exile wiki maps, and they'll have which is the base map spawn for each map on the wiki there. That was a bit nasty, that guy. So this one's Blessing of Elements with extra cold damage and powerful crits. That's a pretty nasty combination right there. I should be paying attention to the Nemesis mods a bit more. I've lost my my good Nemesis habits. But yeah, we want to range that guy for sure. I'll pick up Amethyst Rings and chance them, because there's good potential for Ming's Heart, which is a very good... Well, not good potential, but there is the potential for Ming's Heart, which is a very good unique item. It's an Amethyst Ring with a lot of Chaos Resist, and converts... pretty sure it converts physical damage to Chaos damage, which is very nice added extra damage. And not susceptible to Reflect or most resistances. But we got 37 intellect. But yeah, you can see that we're barely noticing the no regen. I'm a little bit less tanky, and it means that I need to be paying attention to my health a little bit more. But it's really not much of a problem. So there's like basically a free extra 30% or something item quantity. Very nice stuff. This is a pretty nasty pack just here. I might try and squeeze out my decoy totem just to distract those guys a bit. Now we'll just face tank, I think. Facebreaker Ranger is actually fairly common as oh, you mean like a ranger class, not as in a ranged facebreaker. There's a chromatic item as well. Need to kill this Necro. There we go. Alright, how have I gone with clearing? Not the best. This map will take a while to clear. There's nothing wrong with playing other people's builds second perk. I've played a few builds that were inspired by or based on other people's builds. But, you know, everyone enjoys to play different ways. Some people don't enjoy theory crafting, other people do. Some people just want to play something they know is going to work. They don't want to go through the, you know, annoyance of making a build that doesn't end up working. This one's Soul Eater, so I'll try and kill these mobs away from him, or draw him away, and just kill him by himself. Looks like there's something around him now, though. So he'll get tougher the more mobs we kill around him. He eats the souls of the other guys. Now this is a Spine Bow. This is the one that will chance into a Voltaxic Rift. So I will chance those guys as well. Tell you what, imagine if I got a Voltaxic Rift from that. I wouldn't even know. It would literally ruin the Path of Exile Survival guide, because it'd be like, guys, surviving Path of Exile is easy. All you need to do is chance a Voltaxic Rift. Come on, it's like not hard. So once you get down to this area here that kind of leads off in a hallway off from the main zone, and there's downward stairs, it should lead to the boss zone. So we'll go do the boss and we'll come clear the rest of the map afterwards. Alrighty, there we go, there's the opening. Oops, went back through. Oh, come on. Here we go, alrighty. So, my strategy for this is, there's a large room in here with a bunch of other mobs in it. We don't really want to fight him with the other mobs. We don't want to fight the map boss with the other mobs. He's there, he is. Penitentiary Incarcerator. So, we have two options. We can either try and fish for the other mobs and kill those. Here's a skeleton we might be able to snipe. Let me just carefully snipe this guy. Or we can hit him and draw him into this other room. So, I might do that. Where is he? He was there. So let's just shoot him. We've got a few other mobs coming for us. Might as well kill those guys while they're there. Just snipe, snipe, snipe. There we go. Alright, let's shoot him and draw him in. Now, don't kite in a straight line unless you are very far away from this guy. So I'm going to do sort of just wiggle down the hallway here. I'm going to draw him into the center. And he's desynced, so I'm going to hit my OOS macro and then come back. Oops, got hit. That's why you don't kite in a straight line. So what we're going to do now is draw him into about there, and then we're going to let him swing his hook, attack, let him swing, attack again, let him swing. You might want to do one, or you might want to do a couple attacks depending on your attack speed. With 6 frenzy charges, we attack fast enough for like 3 or 4 attacks in between swings. So let him do his hook. This is called doing the dance. Let's do this dance, bro. Easy mode. But yeah, this guy does hit pretty hard though. I think he can hit for like 3k damage or something, so... Oh, there's a big hit. That was a little desync hit there. He's like one of the most desyncy bosses in the game. Playing from Australia. It's like, even on the Australian servers. Sometimes you'll get hit even though he didn't even move. It's a bit of a problem. So I'm just running circles now since he's actually doing his slams. There we go, there's the kill. He dropped some pretty good loot. So if you do a double boss on that one, just yeah, just try and pull them out one by one if you can, is the easiest way. And that ends the music. Goodbye music. Oh, what do we have here? Physical cold lightning? No, no attack speed. Not a faster. If it's a very fast elemental sword, that can be good. But not the case there. Alright, let's check these guys. Nothing really good. Alright, I'm going to clear out the rest of the pack here. Make sure you do clear. There's usually some blue packs in here you can kill. Quite a few, actually. It's called Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Ah, beautiful. Is that your version of doing the dance? Not even 4k HP? I know, right? 3,999 HP. Bad build is bad. Alright, so now technically I should go back and clear the rest of the map, but since we're mostly doing this for educational purposes, there is a lot of mobs remaining. I only cleared one edge of the map. You'll want to do the full loop and then poke into each of the corners, but you guys don't need to see me clear all of dungeon. Hopefully you get the message by this point, so I'm going to head on back to town. But that's the dungeon map. It's not the best map, it takes a long time to do. It's not the worst though. Especially as a ranged character. As a melee character, he's a bit tougher to deal with. There you go. Quite a few chromatic items, we better check this one here. Nothing. Nothing too exciting there. Alrighty, so next up I will run, I think I'll run the Overgrown Ruins next. Overgrown Ruins is an okay-ish map. It's one that I'll usually run. Overgrown Ruins. We didn't get a level in that last one. We probably would if we had a full cleared it, but we'll probably get a level in this one though. Okay, so this one's kind of an interesting setup. You want to full clear each zone and then go down the stairs. So don't go down the stairs when you find them. But you'll see what I mean in a moment. I need to kill that vile totem just there. There we go. What were the map mods on this one again? I need to pay attention to that. So this is minus max resist. Monsters cannot be stunned. So we do need to be paying careful attention to things that deal physical damage. Oh, GCP, Gemcutter's Prism. Pretty good. Worth 1.5 chaos-ish. Something like that. Looks like one of those guys was desynced. Alright, so what do we got in there? That's a bit of... I'm seeing a lot of colour. So that usually means pretty bad. Now with minus max resistances, you'll see our total resists are down to 59% now. Like that's what it caps out at for us. So although we're capped on our resistances finally, they're actually quite low. So 59, that's a big reduction. So something you need, in addition to just basic elemental damage, things hitting you for elemental damage, you also need to be aware of elemental reflect will be more dangerous. Now our life cannon hit should still counteract that, but we'll want to test carefully. But if you don't have life cannon hit on your character and you deal a lot of elemental damage, minus max resist is very dangerous if you do encounter reflect. And if you're doing a reflect map with minus max resist and you encounter a reflect pack as well, like a pack of mobs with a reflect aura, then that will kill you pretty quickly. This is one of those maps where you'll get there's like a it's not the base map mod, but it's like an extra mob, and I don't even think they count on the /remaining. But for example, some maps it's like statues that spawn when you run near them, and this one's spiders that spawn when you run near them. So they're basically like, you know, just extra freebies. But you can basically get these guys all to spawn and then just run back and kill them. Superior Grotto map, it's a 66, so it's just a sustain, you know, not a +1 or anything. But getting superiors is always nice, and Grotto is a nice map that we ran earlier. So that's still a win. Getting a refund, sorry, a refund is the term most people use for that. Because, you know, you put in a 66 map, you got a 66 map back. That's a refund. Getting a refund is always good. The chaos damage is pretty nasty, but minus max will often not affect... I think it's minus max Ellie, isn't it? No, it's just maximum... I think it does affect chaos resistance, but I've never had maxed chaos resist for it to be an issue, so... doesn't make chaos any more dangerous than it usually is. Going from 75%, this is a good, from Avocado Cake, a good post in the chat. Going from 75% resist to 50% doubles the amount of LE damage you take. It's a huge difference, exactly. So 16% maximum place resistances might not sound like a lot, but it is a huge difference in the amount of damage you actually take. That's a very important point about resistances in general, and that's why getting like going from 75% resistance to 85, or sorry, to 80 or something like that, with various, you know, the passive tree. There's some passive tree increased max resistances, and there's some unique items that do the same. It actually makes a significant boost to your defense. You know, it severely reduces the amount of damage that you'll take from elemental. So in this build, I'm pretty sure we eventually get this one here, elemental adaptation, that gives us 2% maximum or resist, but that's only relevant to get once you actually have maxed out resist. We're about to level up. A lot of chaos damage there. Pretty nasty. Volatile Flame Blood. He will probably hit pretty hard when he explodes, but he doesn't have any damage mods, so it won't be too bad, but I can just draw him away there. The range is pretty short on Volatile, so just that far away is enough. Alright, so you'll see the stair. There is a set of stairs over there. We just want to full clear each of the zones and then go down the stairs, so that way we won't have to backtrack. I chanced to chevrons today, only took me 3 chance orbs. Wow, Theme and Aria, congrats. That's incredible. You've effectively won the lottery there. There we go, leveled up, level 71. I think, let's see if I can remember what we were doing. What were we going for? I think I was just going for the damage mods over to Ballistic Mastery first. So there we go, we get some more fizz damage and attack speed. From 516 to... 530. Very nice. More attack speed and damage. Always good stuff. So I'll go clear this other little room up there and then we'll go into the stairs. Welcome back, Zachman. Whoa, lots of lightning damage in there. So that's a good example of something to watch out for minus max. Lightning Warp hits pretty hard. And all these guys deal lightning damage on their attacks too. And then when you combine lightning with anything else, there's a chance of getting shock stacked and taking additional damage. And shock stacks will be worse, and freezes will be worse, and burns will be worse when you have minus max resist. All of those things are calculated based on the amount of damage that you take initially, so... Whoa, that hurt! All those guys left on me at the same time. Ouch, I hate those mobs. The croaking chimrels. But yeah, so if you get hit by a very large amount of ice damage, so obviously doubling amount of ice damage you take will increase the duration of the freeze, which can get you killed, so you definitely need to watch out for that. Just another reason why minus max is dangerous. apart from just the extra damage. Void Bear is going to be pretty nasty with minus max. Pretty bad collection of mobs in general. Good thing life gain on hit is like so OP with Lightning Arrow. That's like a defensive mechanic, it's just so effective. You can just sustain through so much of this damage. Alrighty, there we go. Lots of levels on the rarity gem today. We'll be able to start some rarity culling later. And you want to get that set up pretty soon. I was talking last episode about getting something like Split Arrow, linking it to Culling Strike and Item Rarity is a good thing to get set up as soon as possible, because even like killing rares with them and killing map bosses will, it'll give you a pretty nice boost in the amount of rare items that actually drop. Actually pre-curse those guys defensively with Temporal Chains just to slow them down a bit. It's also very effective with Lightning Strike for similar reasons. Anything that like hits a lot will benefit from life gain on hit very well. I imagine Reave is pretty good as well with increased AoE. Anything with chain and LMP or GMP is very good, but Lightning Arrow is one of the best because it also has its own chaining function, so it hits so many times. So with maps, do you have to clear all the rooms or just want how you want map system work? So essentially, you will generally full clear maps, though the lower level maps like level 66 and 67 aren't a big deal to full clear. But the reason you'll full clear maps is because you've invested currency in that map, and you want to make sure you get as much return from that as possible. Obviously, you don't want to go too crazy, and if you're spending like an extra 15 minutes to kill one mob, it's not worth it. But you do generally want to go room to room, clear everything as best you can, to maximize the amount of return you're getting from that currency, and to maximize the chances that you will get a refund, like, or a high level map. Because if you're in like your last 75 map and all of your other maps are level 69, then you don't want to go back to doing level 69 maps. So you will roll that last map as best you can and full clear that map. You'll flip over every rock and stuff at the chance of getting another 75 map at least. Yeah, so it's not as important for 66 maps because 66 maps are plentiful. We already have a lot. And they're very easy to get even if you do run out. But I think I'm desynced here. Yes, I was. But it's good to get in the habit of doing it. It's good to get in the practice. And this is a good, like the mapping habits and mapping playstyles are pretty different to how you will level your character, how you sort of speed level. What and when was your first job? My first job was I worked customer service at Target. I worked a little bit of registers, I worked in lay-by, I did like the soundbar, which is like DVDs and games and hi-fi and stuff like that. And I just kind of worked in like other general locations in there. And I did that for a couple years casual while I was at school and then at university. And I later transitioned into distribution with Target. So I went to a warehouse and did like breaking it down and restacking pallets and loading trucks and stuff like that. So I did both of those together for a bit over 5 years. And then I basically stopped doing that. I left. I decided I needed to do something a bit more rewarding for myself. And I started doing freelance writing and freelance web design. And later started YouTubing. And then I was doing both YouTubing and freelance web design and writing. And then eventually once YouTubing picked up enough, I stopped doing the freelance stuff. And now I'm a full-time YouTuber and streamer. So again, we found the stairs. Oh no, we haven't found the stairs yet. No, we did find the stairs. Did we? Yeah, we did, but I'm full clearing. This map used to be a lot worse, I think. It used to have multiple stairs you could take. And you'd have to go back and backtrack and find like the right staircase to find the map you missed before. But I think now it's pretty linear. What is your general strategy with currency on your maps? Do you have any tips on how to sustain your map pool in the high 76 to 678? I'm getting great XP, but poop map drops in 77s at the moment. So the overall strategy is I generally roll blue up to 69 and sometimes even 70s if I have a decent map pool. But always invest a lot of currency in your highest level maps. But don't go too crazy, like don't spend exalts on your level 68 maps or anything. Multi-traps, that's worth a few counts. Nice drop. And probably not in standard though. And then once I get to level 70, I'll start alching, and then I usually start alching and chiseling level 72 or 2-ish sort of maps. And then I'll start chaos spamming those as well if I need to. I rarely blue and regal. If I've got a very good map pool, I might craft blue some of my higher level maps, so 70 plus maps, and just craft them for XP if I have a pretty good map pool already. But otherwise, to sustain high level maps, honestly, it's kind of just luck. Like once you get into the higher level maps, although it's a good idea to try and, you know, alch and chaosy maps for good mods and try and go for, you know, like 80-100% increased quantity, something like that. It's it often makes very little difference, and I have chained blue like level 75 and 76 maps before in the last 1 week race. We basically just chained level 75 maps blues, so it's really just it's really a lot of luck once you get into the higher level maps as to whether you actually get them dropping. And there's been people that have done pretty large scale tests of rolling high level maps with lots of currency, and you know, between just running white high level maps, and the differences in map drop rate have been pretty lackluster most of the time with those tests. So yeah, I think you should invest, but don't go too crazy, and accept that sometimes you will drop out of the map system and have to go back to lower level maps. It's a part of it. That's this chest here really wanted to be very good. It tried very hard. It studied all night, but it didn't quite make it. Look at this thing. Increased armor and evasion, max life, try resist. However, all of the rolls are terrible. The armor and evasion is like lowest roll, life is like practically lowest roll, fire and lightning resist are lowest roll, and the cold resist is average at best. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. So that chest makes me sad. It makes me sad. It wanted so badly to do well. Daddy, please be proud of me. I'm sorry, chest. You failed. I'm going to send you to boarding school. Would that be worth a blessed? If you want to buy that chest for a blessed, I would sell it to you for a blessed. Blessed orbs are like practically worthless, but I was just going to vendor it anyway. The chest is almost divine worthy. No, don't make that mistake. There's mod tiers in Path of Exile, so the mods will go something like 20 life to 35 life, and then it'll go like 30 life to 45 life, and then like 40 life to 55 life. So if you divine this, the best you can probably do is like make it like 29 life or 30 life. You won't get it up to 90 life. You have to have the better mod rolls, the better brackets. They actually have names, and there's mods compendiums. If you Google for Path of Exile mods compendium, you can see the different brackets. But divine will not fix that. You could waste 10 divine on that, and it would keep the same brackets. So yeah, don't make that mistake. Stay not your vile tongue. Your hits inflict random curses. The flavor text almost sounds like actually cursing, you know, swearing at your enemies. Stay not your vile tongue. Just cursing at the enemies. Damn, 777. Let me look at this thing. We've got a few map drops from this one, actually. A bunch of 66s, though. What's this thing like? Oh! 7 armor, 7 fire, 7 cold, 7 lightning, and 7 energy shield. Them lucky 7s. I'll tell you what, for a no level requirement chest, that's pretty good. Shame no 7 life. Alright, I haven't exactly full cleared this zone. Maybe if I had picked up that superior flask, the chest would have passed high school. Flask of the superior. Uh-oh. This is bad on a minus max resist. These guys, Undying Grapplers, use the discharge spell, which deals a lot of elemental damage. It's pretty nasty. There's blind, but we have a resolute technique, so that's not a problem. There we go. We're alright. This is just extra cold, damage, faster attacks, powerful crits. Pretty nasty combo. Running out of space. Uh-oh. Is there anything I can ditch? Thicket map. There we go, 67 plus 1. I think we've done pretty well on maps overall today. No 68s though, we haven't got any +2s. And a chisel. Oh, I'm like fully out of space now. Hold on. Alright, that's bad. Get rid of it. I can't force myself to throw away that crappy chest. But I ought to. In some of your videos, is your text in game change? Is different text? Looks like D2. If you're like looking at very old videos, you're probably looking at ones I recorded on the Mac. And the Mac port has kind of weird text bugs. So yeah, I was recording back on an Apple Mac back in the day for my old Path of Exile videos. Tips on making currency super fast? I would look more to making currency super consistently, man. That's the best way to make currency, is to do it consistently. So my best successes with currency has been to focus on the Chaos Orb recipe. So you can get like, you know, 5 to 10 Chaos a day pretty easily doing Chaos Orb recipes, playing a couple hours a day. And running a forum thread shop, and just listing items for low buyouts. So like, you know, 1 to 3 Chaos buyouts, and just making consistent sales, man. Consistency trumps all. Alright, can I get rid of something? Let me get rid of this sword. Alright, it's not very good. But yeah, that's always been the way I've made my currency. I've never found like the big ticket items, and relying on big ticket items is not a good way to make currency, because they just don't drop often enough. My biggest drop was worth 2 exalts, that's all. That was like some chest. I can't remember what chest armor it was, a unique chest. One day Ziggy will be in a dire need of a superior hallowed mana flask. On my blood magic character? Oh yeah. I think I'll be alright, guys. I think I'll be okay. Think of the time I saved not picking that up though. I can use that time to buy a superior hallowed mana flask. Ziggy make a Righteous Fire build? One day. It's a pretty currency heavy build though. Just chance to Voltaxic, it's easy to make money? Yeah, exactly. That's alright. His fastest way to make money, just chance of Voltaxic, man. Easy. All you need is a Chance Orb and then a White Spine Bow, and then you get a Voltaxic Rift. And that's like, what, how many? 20 exalts? 50 exalts? Something ridiculous. Nah, the chest I found that was worth 2 exalts wasn't a Tabula. Tabula's around 1 exalt usually. I sold my Tabula I found in this character for 1 exalt. I found it was a really cool transmog item, but it had like interesting off-color rolls or something, and that made it worth a bit more than usual. I can't remember what it was. Belly of the Beast maybe? Alrighty, come on. Let's get some space holding. Oh, the Noble Axe. I suppose I should go back to town and use one of my portals. Ugh. I hate doing town runs. I want to just kill more monsters. Why do we have to get loot? All right, guys. I'm gonna vendor the chests that tried very hard to be good. So just for reference, if this had a rolled like 50 life, even the same amount of evasion would have been fine. Armor evasion would have been fine. 50 life, and then like 20-20-20 resist or 20-30-20, something like that. It would have been worth something, but as is, it's not very valuable at all. Who knows, someone might buy it for an alk, but I'm not going to hold on to it for that. That was an interesting one. It wanted to be good as well, but no luck. Diamond ring, how are you? You're another one for the vendor recipe. I haven't found any good rings in a while. Lots of currencies. And we did find a multi-traps as well, which is worth 1 to 3 cows or something maybe. The items are trying their best. Good try, item. Good try. Uh-oh, frozen. Uh-oh, that minus max freeze. Ouch. 16 fire and lightning, I'll chance that. Oh, accuracy. Get out of my inventory. So bad. Alright. I think we're ready to go down the final set of stairs now. It should be the final set of stairs if I've counted correctly. It has been a while since I found an upgrade. But, you know, we've been getting still consistently okay drops. You know, currency every now and then. It'll all factor into buying an upgrade eventually if we don't find anything. And we'll be getting those Chaos Orb recipes going. Actually, I think I did find an upgrade recently. What was it? Might have been a belt or an amulet or something. Pair of gloves? No, I think I bought those. Can't remember what it was. Only multi-exalt drop Ziggy ever got. Can't even remember what it was. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I guess I've kind of never really even thought about really getting too hung up on getting the really big ticket items, because it's just never happened. And that is kind of Poe, you know. Getting those big ticket items is kind of like winning the lottery. And I play the lottery, but I play the lottery here, aka Path of Exile, because it's fun. And I don't get too hung up on like getting the big item drops. I need to kill this vitality totem, otherwise killing this boss is going to be a real pain. But yeah, this guy here is based on the Chamber of Sins boss. He does a lightning strike. He hits pretty hard. Kiting him will help quite a bit. The projectiles can still hurt a bit themselves though, so you need to watch out for those. But the best way to deal with him is to throw in our decoy totem on the other side of him. So we'll throw it on that side there. And just like, you know, he'll hit it once, we'll refresh it, we'll hit it once again. Wait for it to distract him. We can slow him down it as well, using temporal chains. So I'll just spawn another one, just spawn another one. You know, just chain the totems. And we should be able to kill him now. But that's the easiest way to deal with him. Amethyst ring, that could be good. Alright, what else do we get? So how did we do on the clear? Oh, perfect clear! I'm actually surprised. I'm honestly surprised at that. I thought for sure I would have missed a room somewhere. That's a pretty terrible ring though. 70 life, max energy shield. Nope. Not very good. High increased evasion and energy shield, lightning resist, but no move speed or anything else. Nothing very good either there. So we'll head on back. But that was a pretty good map in general though. This character is in standard. It was originally in domination. I spawned it in. But it's now in standard since the league ended. Alrighty guys, I'm going to run a quick ad break. So I'll catch you guys in a moment and then we'll roll, like, I think we've got 1 or 2 maps left to do. So, let's roll the crypt map. We'll save the orchard for last, my least favourite of the 66s. Orchard, usually a vendor. Yes, I actually vendor it. Dried Lake, that's another 66, isn't it? I forgot about that. But Dried Lake and Dunes are the other 66s I don't have access to at the moment. But no, that's fine. We'll just do the ones we have for now. But so what is the mods on this one? Area is inhabited by skeletons, which is a population mod, and area has patches of chilled ground, which you can see that here. They slow you down a lot if you get stuck on them. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. Sometimes they're annoying, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to just stick to the left for this zone, so just stick to the left wall. Okay, that totem there. Skeletons isn't too hard at all. It's a pretty good mod overall. I don't think these guys spawn with undead, with necros either, because that's the undead mod. Skeletons is nice and easy. The only thing to watch out for is the giant skeletons. They hit pretty hard with fizz damage, but and you know, running into a room full of skeletal mages is not a good idea usually as well. Making sure to click those sarcophaguses as they do drop. Maps as well. The rowers are also something I suppose to watch out for. Rowers can be a little bit annoying. They hit pretty hard when they do get their charge in, but otherwise pretty easy. Population mods are kind of good because you know what you're getting at least. My favourite population mod though, and most people's favourite, is Sea Witches and their spawn, which is a very good XP one. It gives you a lot of mobs to kill, and they die very easily and very quickly. So it's a fast, good XP one. Especially if you get like Sea Witches and then magic monsters on like a rare map is great. But don't you have any mana? I'm running Blood Magic, yeah. I have the Blood Magic Keystone, which removes all mana and makes skills cost life instead of mana. So I sustain it by using life gain on hit and life leech. That's why you won't really see my life move too much like this, even though I'm spending life. You'll see it bouncing around a little bit. Is that a lightning arrow build? Yeah, this is the lightning arrow. This is the beginner's tanky lightning arrow ranger. The slow slowing. Oh, I'm desynced. There we go. Thought something suspicious was happening. When I saw my Molten Shell go off down there, I knew I was desynced. Skeletons are kind of getting lost from each other. See you later. See you later, second perk. Have a good one, man. Go, Val Totem. You can die. I believe in you. Here we go. Success. So you use life gain on hit on lightning arrow and life leech on the frenzy? Exactly, Minky Woo. Frenzy deals high physical single target damage, Life Leech sustains fantastically, and usually you're fighting against something like a rare or a boss, and you just kind of stand there and face tank with the Life Leech. It usually works out pretty well. And life gain on hit on Lightning Arrow is super OP, because it hits so many times, you get a lot of life back. It allows you to stand and face tank absurd amounts of incoming damage. Basically, as long as you're not getting one shot, and as long as you can still attack and hit a lot of targets, you probably won't die with life gain on hit. But it's kind of a feeling thing you have to get used to, though. Like, you have to know what you can kind of sustain against and what you can't. But that's kind of a nice learning experience, I think. Finally above 4k HP. Yeah, we leveled. We're at 4021 now, because we got that base HP increase when we leveled up. That's right. I didn't celebrate it enough when it happened. But we're actually at level 71 now. Pretty nice. Moving into the 70s, where your character grows up into an adult, basically. The 60s is like, you're kind of like an awkward teenager. But in the 70s, we're actually becoming, you know, we're becoming a real man or woman. In this case, woman, since we're a ranger. But you're wise in the ways of the world. Your battle strategies are coming to fruition successfully. Barrage with life gain on hit, opinion. I think life gain on hit is probably the better choice for Barrage as compared to Life Leech. I think I've heard very good things about Barrage sustain with life gain on hit. Like if you're like melee range against a rare or something like that with Barrage, that'll keep you alive very well. Chromatic item. Except there's a Rejuve totem in here. Need to move out of those ice fields, they slow you down way too much. Hey Ziggy, any interested in seeing some 3D modeling stuff I've been working on while listening to the stream this semester? Yeah, sure man, send me a link. I'm curious to see. I won't be able to check it out on stream though. At least not at the moment. Ziggy tried out Marvel Heroes today. It's quite strange, but it's good so far. Awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I will check it out again soon eventually. People keep telling me about it lately, so you know, if people are talking about it, it means it's got something going on. I don't know if it's the sort of action RPG that'll interest me long term, but it's definitely worth another look. Yeah, just message me with ZiggyD in game if you want to send me a message, guys. But this character's name is Rayclass Survivalist. That isn't a 5 link, is it? No, it's a 4 link. I was trolled. So yeah, just sticking to the left wall and clearing my way around. As you can see, that's a dead end. I'm trying to like, go through the wall! You can do it! It looks like that was everything on that area? Yeah, alright, left side worked. Just to make sure that you reliably full clear. You want to be very methodical with maps. Especially with a group, you need to tell your party, decide which wall you're sticking to, or how you're clearing the map. If you're with an experienced map group, they'll know the best way to clear each map type, and it does differ from map to map. But if you're unsure, just tell the group to stick to like the left wall, or the right wall, either one. I don't know why I always choose left though. Hey Ziggy, have you ever played any of the Homeworld RTS series? I have. Homeworld is definitely a game that I have pretty fond memories of. It was a very cool game. Not as much as Free Space. I played both of those games around the same time, and I enjoyed Free Space more, but Homeworld was very cool. Damn, that ice slowed me down. Look at it. Let me get out of this. Ugh, that's slow. So painful. That's like, that feeling of running around in ice like that is what it's like to do a temporal temporal chains map, except you can never escape it. Alright, so here we have the boss. It's the one based on... it's the guy from the side quest where you get passive points in the church. I thought he was named Joffrey or something. I thought he was actually Joffrey. As in, of the Joffrey's baptism fame and stuff like that. But, he casts Temporal Chains, Vulnerability, and has a bunch of other mobs in here. Other than that, he's not really... There's nothing really too much to say about him. I mean, he hits kinda hard, but it's nothing really crazy. Just clear the mobs out from around him and he's not much of a problem. Free Space is on Steam now? Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. I have it from good old games. Volorb, Orb of Fusing. And we got a bunch of rares from him. Looks like we did a pretty easy full clear of this map. Nothing really too dangerous. Skeleton's mod making everything pretty predictable, really. Added that extra level of predictability to it. Looks like one more room and then we'll be done. Do you have any life regen? I have, not on my gear, but I have a percentage life regen from the tree, I believe. Down here, Golem's Blood, 1.5%. And with a high life pool, it means I have pretty high life regen, 64. Which is pretty decent for this level. I got it on sale for like $3, nice. Definitely worth it, that game's awesome. Free space is sick. Life regen's nice to have, and it helps you not have to worry about running chaos maps, chaos degen per second maps. But life regen is more of a, I think, more of a quality of life improvement. Like, it's nice, especially as a blood magic character, to have your character heal up between packs automatically, rather than having to use a flask. But it's not a huge boost to survivability, I don't think, compared to something like life gain on hit or life leech. So I'll try and get. I always try and get some life regen on the tree, just because playing a character without any life regen feels really bad. But it's not something I'll prioritize unless you're trying to do something like run Blood Rage or Righteous Fire or something like that. Extra cold damage leeches life. Easy mode. Did we get any maps from this one? I don't think we did. No map drops though. Still, there's still a bit more stuff to kill. You never know. Alright, just keep sticking to the left wall. Don't mess up my strats. They're working well so far. Important note about things that charge, so like shield charges and rowers, is that they calculate their whether they hit and then their damage at the start of their charge rather than when they actually hit you. So, you know, why is that important? If you use a granite flask to defend against charging rowers, it won't actually work if you pop it after they start their charge. So the best strategy for rowers is always to sidestep them, because you can always dodge it then. When I said whether it hits, I'm meaning like accuracy versus evasion. So the same goes for Jade Flasks. Jade Flasks and Granite Flasks, only pop them if you're in anticipation of rowers charging, or to prevent other damage after row charges. Yeah, it's a good idea to pop it anyway, but always sidestep row charges. Mr. Superior Life Flask this time. Oh! Chad's blowing up. Uh-oh. Ziggy's in trouble. Making chat cranky. Is it worth it to make a character with 5 to 9% life per second? Or the build will spend too many points on passives to reach that? Only if that works otherwise in your build. Like, ask yourself why you're trying to get that much regen, what it will add to your character. Like, as I said, regen's nice, and getting that much regen on a high life character will certainly give you a lot of, well, it'll give you a decent amount of extra survivability, but maybe there's better ways of doing it. I guess if you really don't want to use life gain on hit or life leech and you stack a lot of regen, you can do that instead. And then, you know, make sure your skill costs aren't too high to sort of counteract your life regen, so you stay alive that way. That's one strategy. Alright, let me ID some more of this stuff there. Nothing good there. Oh, what I'll do is I'll bait the rowers to charge my totem there, so I can just keep firing through the door. Pretty big map. Does shield charge from guards work like row charges you're explaining? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works the same way, Bobo. Because back in the day, before it was changed, evasion characters, shield charges and row charges had a 100% chance to hit. They were both the same attack, essentially. And as an evasion character, they would be your nightmare because you could not evade their attacks, so your defensive stat basically didn't work against them. That was eventually changed, but both of those attacks were changed at the same time. So I'm pretty sure they work the same way for granites and stuff too. So after the Glacial Cascade, Split Crit Ranger, and EK Shadow are done, what's next in the massive list of Ziggy build ideas? I mean, there's so many things I want to make. Eventually I want to make an endgame Detonate Dead character. I want to make an Arc character. I wouldn't mind making like a Righteous Fire or one of those more interesting builds. I could do a Face Breaker as well, would be cool to do one day. There's a lot of builds I want to try. Nothing really stands out too much though, above anything else. So I have lots of little ideas, but I'll probably decide when it comes to that. As you've said, I've got a few characters I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, if you like say I want to run Righteous Fire, then that's a good reason to get like 9% life regen, sorry. So that's the reason, essentially. Having the reason is the important thing. Because it is a big investment to get that much life regen. You will have to go for clusters that you wouldn't normally go for. That might be a fair bit out of your way. My level is now 71. Make a build that uses 3 dragons and uses Frenzy Charge, Discharge to burn stuff. Cool, that does sound pretty cool. Yeah, I wouldn't mind making a Discharge build. That's another one I want to try one day. Seems like it'd be fun for a while. Blowing stuff up. Always satisfying. Make another melee build. I generally just don't enjoy melee as much in action RPGs, like point and click action RPGs, because you have to actually click on the mob, and I find it kind of frustrating. I find it more tedious, a bit less enjoyable. But if there's some sort of melee character I think would be a little bit different to that, I'd probably give it a go. So like a not true melee character. You know, I've done my melee character, Heavy Metal Infernal Blow Marauder. If any of you guys want to question my manhood, you can just check out that build. It's a massive investment in points, you'll basically need every life regen node on the tree. Yeah. Superior Quartz Flask. There you go guys, I picked up a Superior Flask. We're almost done with this map. Last little bit to go. Don't care, make a melee build. You don't care what I like and dislike? But I've got to have fun playing my characters, otherwise I won't be fun to watch. Your fun is not my priority. Oh, Bob Griffin, so harsh, bro. Just because you were killed in the medbay. Not a true melee character, so like Lightning Strike. I don't know if I'd be up for playing Lightning Strike. I played Lightning Strike quite a bit in closed beta. Don't think I'd want to revisit that. I mean, there's so many other cool skills now. Molten Strike, yeah. I mean, I kind of want. There's a lot of spell builds I want to do actually. All right, I think that's clear. 0 monsters remain. Oh man, the full clears are real. You sailing with Amy Craze in Arcade? Nice. Let me ID this stuff and see how we've gone here. Any nice drops today? Oh, that one was. That's pretty okay. Pretty okay. We have Tri-Res, 80 life, some evasion, but the rolls are not great. The life roll is decent. The lightning resist roll is good. The fire resist roll is okay, passable. Cold resist is quite low. But that is still a pretty nice chest. I always feel like you have to get really top tier stuff to sell in Standard League, but I'm sure that could still sell for a few chaos. What level is it? 59? Pretty nice getting into endgame item, isn't it? The only problem with chests is I feel like they're so hard to sell unless they have links. Do I have anywhere I can chuck it? Leave it for now. Level 1, level 2. Let's chuck it in there. If anyone wants that Tri-Res life chest, let me know. I'll be happy to let it go pretty cheap. No evasion percent, trash. Yeah, exactly. No evasion percent. I mean, and you're not going to exalt that because the other rolls are not great enough to really warrant an exalt. But yeah, I'm tempted to just vendor it, but I'll keep it aside.
Need something?
I mean, I'd sell it for like a chaos or even an alk if you like. Cheapo. Okay, so I think I'll just vendor that one. Get out of here. So last map, we have the Orchard map. Joyous Day Orchard map, my favorite. Yeah, it would be an item I would just chuck in my shop for 1 chaos buyout, and then if someone needed it, if someone just needed a okay chest to get their character in endgame, then I'd give it. Yeah, chests are a hard one to sell. I feel like chests and shields are very difficult to sell unless they're very good. So this is a pretty map. It's a pretty map, Orchard. It's very nice. It's a relatively new map too. It was only added into the game. Well, actually probably a while ago now. But it wasn't in the original map pool. But you'll see why pretty soon why people don't like it. Both the boss is quite dangerous for a level 66 map, like something you would not face in hardcore, just because it's in no way worth it. And the map itself takes forever to clear, so I might not even full clear this one, just because of like all the little nooks and crannies everywhere. These open areas aren't too bad, at least. Porcupine Goliaths. Those guys hit pretty hard when they explode, so you can either try and pick them off one by one or just granite before you kill them. Are you doing the boss? Yeah, I'll do the boss for science, just so people know what they're dealing with and why I just recommend vendoring this map. So what you can do is you can either save up a couple of these orchard maps, and then if you vendor 3 maps, I'm pretty sure it's 3 maps, you get a new 67 map, so it vendors up to 67. Otherwise, I usually vendor it with one of those 20 quality stone hammers or gavels, and get a chisel in return. And it always has birds, yeah, and they take forever because they always run off after the corpses. So I really don't have a clear strategy for this zone, so I'm just going to stick to an outside wall and try and clear each area as it comes to me, because I often just don't run this map. Yeah, at least it is a pretty map, at least. I can't believe I have ice on here as well. What did I get? Elemental, Ellie Reflect, which is not a problem for this character, and Ice Fields, which is going to make it even slower. I think I'm desynced. Yeah, I wasn't inside his bubble. Of course he stands on the ice as well. What a jerk. Go away! Get off the ice! Please. There we go. Check my map, please. The one that linked in game. Alrighty, I'll check it out in a sec. Hold on. Easy clutch. If you're just here to promote, you know, to like promote your own channel, then I will time you out, because you need to be participating in the actual community, man. If you're here to like help people out, answer questions, participate in the community, or you're a regular viewer, I'm happy. I will even, you know, I will even recommend people watch your stream if it's good. But if you're literally just here to promote your own stream, then that's not cool, man. You're not adding anything. But and it's not a good way. Just as a tip, man, if you're still here, coming from someone who's, you know, gone from having no one watching my YouTube or stream to earning a full-time living doing it, the best way to promote your stuff is to add value, like to actually do it in a way that people would want to see. Just saying, you know, watch my stuff is not gonna ever really convince anyone to actually watch you. So I'm talking like, you know, find a forum where someone's asking a relevant question that you answer with one of your videos, or with your, you know, you often cover on your stream, and then, you know, write a response to it, and then say I also stream, not something like that. You know, add value. Think about how you can actually add value to participate in the community and be a part of it. How much damage are you doing? I'm doing 4.2k Frenzy, 618 Lightning Arrow. It's LMP chain. Couldn't tell you how much exact damage I'm doing because LMP chain calculations are too complex for my mind. Hi, what's the map recipe you mentioned on stream? Repeat it on stream, please. Sure. There's 2 map recipes where you there is the chisel one. Firstly, a 20 quality gavel or stone hammer with any map vended will return a chisel. That's the chisel recipe. The other recipe is 3 of a kind maps of any rarity. If they're all blue, you'll get a blue map back, or if they're all rare, you'll get a rare map back. Same as white. 3 of a kind will vendor up to the next map level. So a 66 orchard will go to a 67 of some particular map. I can't remember what it is. The chisel recipe. Yeah, okay. So those are the two recipes you can use for the maps you don't want to run. What is a color? Color means culling strike skills. So someone who is a color is someone who has a lot of magic find and uses culling strike to make that magic find take effect. For magic find to work in Path of Exile, you have to get the killing blow, and culling strike guarantees a kill if you hit a monster with less than 10% life. So a color will be someone who is using a skill with culling strike and increased item rarity and maybe quantity, and they probably also have a lot of rarity or quantity on their gear. So there's someone who's basically dedicated towards magic find. Usually it'll be like a power siphon character, but it could be almost anything. You can cull any mob in the game, yes, bosses included. And it's a good idea to cull bosses for magic find. I think everyone should try and set up at least some sort of magic find cull on their character, if they have the spare slots for it. Is there an XP penalty for running maps that are too high? Or is it just that you'll likely clear slowly if you're not high enough level? There's a few implications there. There is an XP penalty for running stuff that's too high level for you, though I don't actually think that will really take effect in maps most of the time. I think you'll be safe unless you're running really high level maps on a really low level character. So in addition to the slower clear speed, more importantly is the fact that you should be running what is the most efficient XP gains for you. So let's look at it this way. Let's say currently I'm not suffering any XP penalty running level 66 maps. I'm getting 100% of the XP that you know basically comes from the monsters. Now if I were to start running level 75 maps, I would get a lot of XP. But let's say I ran out of level 75 maps and had to run back to level 66 maps again. At that point, I would have leveled a lot and really quickly in those higher level maps. But going back to 66 maps means I would start suffering XP penalty. So it's a good idea to run your maps in sequence and move up the map tiers once you start getting XP penalties. Especially if you're running solo or if you're running with a dedicated map group, and not just like randomly jumping in someone else's map for a bit. Basically, it's a good idea to like do 66s until you start getting XP penalties, do 67s until you start getting XP penalties, 68s once you start getting XP penalties, move up. So kind of, keep ahead, one step ahead of your XP penalties is the most efficient way to look at the map system and progression in terms of XP penalty. But if you have a lot of higher level maps, then you may want to just jump ahead and then not if you don't think you'll drop back. Standing on the ice, not good. Vile touch. The most not noticeable affix in the game. Basically adds a chaos degen to their attack, but it's like very small and not really noticeable. Would you recommend me to do a Righteous Fire build? I only have 3 exalts worth of items. Nah. I mean, you probably could. You can get a fairly cheap Righteous Fire build up and running. I'm sure you could do it within 3 exalts. If you really want to do that, man. I would have a crack at it. Just, budget as much as you can on your other gear. What level above do you start getting an XP penalty? The easiest way is there is an XP penalty calculator. PoE XP penalty calculator. Because it's kind of a scaling thing. It's hard to know off the top of your head because it depends on your level as well. Like when you're a higher level compared to, so let's say running like a level 20, being level 30 running a level 20 area will give you a bigger XP penalty than being like level 70 and running, being level 90 and running a level 875 area or something like that. If that makes any sense. Let me bring up this one here. I think this is the right one. So character level, let's just say I'm 71, monster level area is 66. Submit. We gain 100% of XP, so we can just sort of move up here. 72, we're still 100%. 73 for 66 maps, still 100%. 74, 100% still. Oh, hold on, there we go, 98%. So hold on, was that? Go back to 73 a sec. Did I miss one? Okay, yeah, 74 is the breakpoint for starting to get XP penalty from maps. So around 74 or 75, you should probably consider not running 66 maps anymore. And hopefully by that point you won't have to. I would try and progress a bit. Oh my god, those mobs. Oh, we are gonna die today, people. We are gonna die. Oh, so bad. I would normally just not do this. It's not worth losing the XP, but for science! Maybe I should... Oh, let's just try this. Oh my god. Popping my granite. Life gain on hit, 2 OP. Oh man. Now I'm staying against the wall because the boss will spawn if we go into the middle of the zone. Nice big finish here. Dodge, dip, dive, and dodge. No, I only have one strategy. It starts with L, life gain on hit. Leech. Attack. My strategy is attack, 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 and attack. Now, it's a good idea for this map. The boss spawns in the middle. It's a good idea to sort of run around the edges and kill the other mobs first. So you can try and fish for them using a single target, or just kind of run around. What I might do is run around the left side and then run around the top. These guys are going ham over here. Yeah, this boss is very nasty, guys. You'll see in a little while. And this is people just generally. I don't think I've ever run this map while I was doing level 66 maps on a hardcore character. Like I'll run it sometimes if I'm a fair bit higher level or overgeared just for funsies, but it's really not really worth it. All right, so it all looks clear, right? Nothing to be concerned about. Oh, tunnel trap! Oh, bro! Tunnel trap! Please! Ah! And look at that thing. That thing just nukes you. I'll try and show off the big explosion. So he has the multiple projectile attack there, and watch this thing here. Ready? Watch that thing. That thing is one-shot build. Now, you want to know what's really fun about this character? This boss here? Let me see if he does it. Let me see. Looks like he might not this time. Let's see if we can get him to do it. Come on, bro, over here. Hold on. He might be desync. There he is. Come on, bro, over here. Over here. Come on, come on. Alright, now come through. Come through. He can actually leave the boss zone. Is he gonna do it this time, though? Looks like he might not. Oh, he's over there. Maybe he has to... oh, you might have to get him to this wall. Let's see if we can get him to do it for funsies. Life leech and life gain on hit will stack together, yes. Oh man, that hurts so bad. Alright, let's see if we can get him to come over this side. Oh man! He might one-shot us in a second. My health's a bit low. If I can get him to spawn over near the wall, we might be able to get him to leave his little home. Come on, bro, come on over. Alright, there he is. Will he come on out now? Is he over there still? There he is. Lead him to the other edge, the other boss room. Is he gonna come out? He has been known to leave his boss room, but we can't seem to get him to this time. He's not desynced, is he? No, he's still there. Look at him. Scary dude. Maybe he'll only leave this area. He has been known to leave the boss room though. But we'll kill him now. I guess it's not easy to get him to do, but people have tried to run away from him and then only to have him chase him throughout the map. So this guy's scary, and you should be afraid of him. And I recommend generally not doing this map. Oh man, I have very little life left. I better... Oh! I need to refresh my flask. I think they fixed it, did they? Oh, maybe it's been fixed then. That's a shame. It's kind of funny. I like it. Just another reason why this is super rippy. Okay. Let's do this dance, bro. Come on, come on, come on. Do your fire. Oh, he's popping up again. Jeez, it hits so hard. Come on, bro. Come on. Let's see if I can decoy totem in there. Go for the decoy totem. I think decoy totems are probably a pretty good idea against this guy. Uh-oh! I dodged. That was some Matrix dodging just there. Come on, tunnel trap. Hey Ziggy, new player just got cast on death, additional accuracy. Neither of those are really worth anything. Additional accuracy is used, cast on death is very rarely used for anything. It's used kind of in PvP and in softcore for people to spawn portals, but I don't think that's even necessary now with the new checkpoint system. Oh man, there we go. There's the kill. Twin bosses on this map. Yes. Like, if you're gonna do this map, at least don't do it with twin bosses or with boss, like, unique boss deals more damage and attacks faster. At least save yourself that. Cast on Death Portal, yes. So, yeah, I've only, like, half cleared the zone. And you can see, like, there's a lot of little areas and stuff to clear. It's not as bad as, like, Hedge Maze, but it's still pretty bad, and the boss is super rippy. So I don't think it's worth doing this boss. If the big ball hits you, it will one-shot. I think most characters. Even like my EK Scion wasn't really a fan of fighting that guy. Alright, let's see how we got with this last gear, and we'll be just about finishing up. Pretty good run of maps today on the old Path of Exile Survival Guide. Let me chuck this stuff across. We did get a good number of 67 maps. I don't think we got any 68s, and a few more 66s, so we did more than sustain. We actually progressed through the map system pretty nicely, and we got quite a few 67s in there. I know I have like a lot of maps here in Standard, but we'll simulate as best we can on this character. But anyway, guys, if you guys on YouTube have any questions about the map system or getting started in the map system, feel free to ask in the comments below. But that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.